All right, hello everybody. It has been quite some time, but it is time to sort of start getting back into things. Yes. So I had put sort of a mention, a notice of sorts up on my channel here for the past like almost 2 months. Actually, I guess it is a little over 2 months now. But yeah, I got affected pretty hard by Hurricane Sally, and because of that, I wasn't really able or really in a good position to stream for really until now. But luckily now, things have definitely gotten a lot better since then. Uh, House I was in got flooded. My car got flooded, and a couple other things happened. But in the span of 2 months, I've got a new car, in a new place, quite nice. And yeah, I'm finally in a good position to be streaming again. And I figured, uh, why not kind of similar sort of to what I did for E3 last year, have like a little um, discussion about everything that really has occurred that you know caught my attention or interests me in the like I said, about 2 months since I've been gone. So we've got a lot to talk about, and after all of this, I'll be playing a little bit of Animal Crossing, and then I'll get into some more details and stuff about plans and whatnot, probably during or after that. For now, though, before we begin, I guess let me get some music going in the background. There we go. Okay. So, where do we begin? I guess next gen consoles is a good place to start since Hurricane Sally happened pretty much right around the time the final PS5 showcase happened. I believe Hurricane Sally hit the day before that. I believe it was a Wednesday, the 18th of September, is when the final PS5 like showcase happened, um, where they gave us pricing details and all kinds of other stuff. I was really looking forward to watching that live, and of course getting to know details about pricing and pre-orders. But well, due to a hurricane, I really wasn't able to, unfortunately. There are some games that were shown off there that are coming out, or that I didn't like show here on the like picture board. Some things I can think of were I believe that was when they revealed Final Fantasy 16. So that's pretty cool. That game does look quite good. I believe it's slated for release sometime in 2021. So that's going to be pretty cool. We saw some gameplay for Demon's Souls, which is a launch title, or I guess was a launch title for the PS5. We saw, I think, more Spider-Man. Lots of stuff. I know Call of Duty gameplay. There's definitely some good stuff that they showed during that. I eventually ended up watching it a couple weeks, a week or two or three after it had initially debuted. It was really good. Definitely 16 was a highlight for me. That's looking really good. And then, was there really anything else in September? I don't think so. I think that was really the major gaming thing that kind of occurred around or after the hurricane that I remember. So, and we move into October. A little bit, kind of slow with releases, from what I remember. Like I said, not everything that I've played or I wanted to talk about, is on here. I just kind of forget things, but there were definitely some pretty good spooky games to play during October. A really big one that popped up was Phasmophobia on PC. I actually have been playing a good amount of that, and it is a really good multiplayer, like, ghost hunting game. I don't know if I'd ever stream it, but it is really good and really fun, and has a lot of potential to get better. It's, I believe, only being developed by one person, so it's very impressive for that. And like I said, a lot of fun. We got a new Amnesia game, finally, that came out. I played a little bit of it. I need to play more, but it's quite good. Definitely better than Machine for Pigs. There's another game that I got called Pumpkin Jack. I actually have not played it, but it looks really fun. It's like a 3D action platformer where you play as I guess I don't know exactly who he is. It seems like he's maybe like a horseman or something of some regard, but it seems pretty fun. Definitely a lot of good spooky games, like I said. Major releases though, pretty slow. And I mean that makes sense, you know, October kind of the weird month in between, really building up to, of course, this month, November, for the next-gen systems and all the games coming with those, but we'll get to that. So really not a whole lot big coming out in October. I think really the only major releases that I remember were Watch Dogs Legion and Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which I did not get Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I actually did not play that game on the Wii U. I really should get Pikmin 3 Deluxe for the Switch, but I just did not. At some point I probably will. And I actually did end up getting Watch Dogs, but haven't played it yet, and, well, yeah. Looks pretty good, though. Now, the other thing, there may not have been major game releases, really, in October, but there is definitely something big that happened in the gaming community in October, and that is, of course, what we see in the bottom left here, Steve. Yes, Steve from Minecraft joined the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character roster, which is, I mean, I like Minecraft, I do. It's just I never would have expected, you know, the player character from Minecraft to be a playable character in Smash Brothers of all things. But yeah, it happened. He is out. I think he came out, oh gosh, when did he come out? I think he came out, like, mid-October, something like that. So, I've played him a little bit. He's definitely a very unique and very technical and interesting character. There's a lot to keep in mind and keep track of while playing him. You have, like, a crafting meter, or you have like your whole crafting system, you have a materials meter. There's a lot. There really is a lot to keep in track with Steve, and for that alone, he's very interesting. Like I said, I haven't played him a whole lot. At some point, I'll do a stream where we check out his classic mode and stuff, but he's definitely pretty fun. He's got a lot of fun alternate colors and skins. You can play as an Enderman. You can play as Alex. Definitely a really cool, but really, really, really weird addition to Smash. But I mean, you know, I'm always cool with whatever characters that Sakurai wants to add. So, yeah, that was probably the biggest thing that happened in October. Let's see. We've got some chat. Wish I could buy that Super Mario Bros. Game & Watch, but it's sold out everywhere. New console launches came and went. I'll upgrade my Xbox when Halo Infinite comes out. Fair enough. That's kind of why I'm, well, we haven't gotten to the next-gen discussion yet as a whole, but, yeah, I don't have an Xbox Series X yet. I'm kind of waiting for Halo Infinite as well. And as for the Game & Watch, well, we'll get into that, but I actually do have one, and it is very cool. It's a really nice little piece of Nintendo memorabilia. I play around with it a lot. It's really nice. It feels really premium. And, yeah, I guess like the kind of like the next-gen systems, like you mentioned, I guess stock is kind of limited. I do have some more at the place I work at, though, Lincoln Times. So if you really want one, maybe we can work something out. But we'll worry about that later. Anyways, though, it is a really cool little piece of tech, and yeah, we'll like I said, we'll get into that. But yeah, I think we've covered pretty much all of the major things in October, other than one of the things I have up here. Actually, two of the things were Part-Time UFO and No More Heroes 1 and 2. I believe that mini partner direct for Nintendo did happen sometime in October, if I remember correctly. Nintendo had their last partner direct showcase for the year. I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, it was sometime in late October. And yeah, those are really the two biggest takeaways for me that I remember, were they finally ported No More Heroes 1 and 2 to the Switch. Haven't gotten them yet. I plan on it at some point. Really good games. Still looking forward to No More Heroes 3. I believe that got formally delayed until next year. Or maybe it already was delayed before that direct. But still, really cool to have all those games on there. And then Part-Time UFO is a really charming, really cute little, kind of like a crane game, essentially, but you're a UFO. I believe it's made by HAL Laboratories, the same creators of Kirby, so it definitely has a lot of charm, and it's very, very cute, and just, it's a good time. It's really cheap. So I don't know if I'll stream it at any point. I've only played a little bit of it, but it is definitely really fun. I played some co-op locally, and yeah, it's just a really cool little game. Definitely like a surprise out of nowhere little thing that they debuted in that direct. And then I think it came out immediately after, but it's a really cool little game. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. It's pretty good. Other than that, though, I do believe that is everything in October. So now we can move over to the current month of November, which I must say has gone by very quickly. I can't believe it's already almost Thanksgiving. But here we are. So, of course, we'll start with the really two big things here on the image board that, of course, happened about almost 2 weeks ago now, was the release of the next-gen consoles. Xbox releasing their Series X and Series S, pictured on the top left there, and of course Sony with the PlayStation 5, digital and standard edition consoles. Now, I already mentioned kind of you to link in time, but I do not have an Xbox yet. I do really like the Series X. The Series S is definitely nice too, but the Series X is of course the flagship one. It's got the disk drive. It's a bit more powerful. I do really like the Series X. I've been able to see one in person. In fact, I've been able to have one in my room and try it out for a little bit. It's really nice looking console. It's a really nice console in general. Microsoft did a really good job with it, I think. And I'm not primarily an Xbox player. I was in the past, back in, before I had a PC or anything. The main console I had was an Xbox 360, so I definitely have a lot of 360 games, and I definitely really do still like and respect Xbox, but as time has gone on, PC is my main platform for playing games. I really only use consoles for exclusives, and because of that, I really haven't had a need to own an Xbox since most, if not all, of the Xbox exclusive games have been making their way to PC now. Of course, Halo, the big one for me, that's on PC now. Gears 5, I believe when it came out last year, came out day and day with the Xbox version on PC. Forza, Sea of Thieves, all these big Xbox exclusive games, if you're on a console, you can only play them on Xbox, but if you're on PC, you can play them there too. Which I really appreciate that Microsoft is doing. It's a really good thing to just, not cut off, potential buyers and fans of these games. Microsoft has seemingly been moving towards more of a play where you want kind of mentality, which I think is great. Because with their games, you can play, of course, on the Xbox, you can play on PC. They have their new xCloud streaming, so you can play even on mobile. So I really like that. They're doing a really good job with kind of differentiating themselves from just being, another big major player amongst the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. They're really doing their own thing, especially with Game Pass as well. Game Pass is insane value. Really only something that you can get on Microsoft's end with, Xbox or on PC. And seriously, Game Pass is amazing. That's pretty much the reason I want to get an Xbox at some point, because I feel like I don't use it that much on my PC, but having an Xbox being like my Game Pass machine, just kind of firing it up and seeing what games are on there and just finding one that looks good to me, downloading it and just playing it on my TV. Yeah, it's really nice. Like I said, insane value. You get, pretty much every single new game as soon as it comes out. If you have Game Pass, you get to play it. It's been said tons of times, and I've already said it a bunch here, but it is really an incredible value, and Microsoft's doing a good job. Like I said, I like the Xbox. I'm kind of waiting to get one, though, for Halo Infinite's launch. I'm waiting to see if they make a special edition Halo Infinite console. That's when I'll probably try and buy one. So, yep. good stuff on Microsoft's end. That released on November 10th here in North America, the Xbox Series X and Series S. And then 2 days later, on Thursday, November 12th, we had Sony and the PlayStation 5. Now, unlike the Xbox, I actually do have a PlayStation 5. I was very, very, very lucky to get my hands on one of them, and I have to say I am very impressed. And I have been thoroughly enjoying my time playing on the PS5. I was able to get one the day after it came out, so Friday the 13th of November, and I've pretty much played on it. I'm fairly certain I've played it every single day since I've gotten it. It is a very impressive piece of tech, very similar to the Xbox, but obviously I've been able to have much more hands-on time and experience with it since I own a PlayStation 5. And I can say, like I said, it is very impressive. Real quick, actually, let's change up the music here. I like We Play, but it's getting a little stale. What do we want to listen to? Well, I know a pretty good one that kind of goes hand in hand with the Wii. There we go. Alright, anyways, so PS5, yes. Like I said, I've really been impressed with it so far. It looks really good on the new TV I got when I moved into the new house as well. You know, I don't do 4K on PC, so this is really my first 4K gaming experience. And it definitely looks very nice. Everything looks very clean, very colorful with HDR and whatnot. The games have been really great. The pre-installed Astro's Playroom, I have not beaten it yet, but it is definitely really charming, really cute, and actually it's a really fun 3D platformer that shows off the very impressive tech of the PS5's DualSense controller. I'm sure, you know, tons of people ham it up and really talk about how impressive the DualSense is, and I mean, it's true, honestly. Astro's Playroom is probably the best game that I've played that like really shows off all of the tech inside and uses it in really cool and interesting ways. But other games too have used it very, you know, more subtly, but definitely still there and definitely really cool. The one I've been playing the most, which is the main reason I wanted to get a PS5 launch, is of course the PS5 remake of Demon's Souls. I am a huge fan of the Souls games, Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne in particular being probably my favorites of the series and some of my favorite games of all time. And I never had a PS3, so I never got to play Demon's Souls, the original one that started it all. So to be able to play it now in, you know, this gorgeous HD, or, you know, 4K remake on the PS5, I really, really wanted to experience it. And I played that the most. I've already finished my first playthrough of the game, but it was really, really, truly a lot of fun. I'm really glad I finally got to play the one that started it all, and really the last Souls game that was eluding me. And it's a really good game. Like I said, that game definitely has some really cool use of the controller as well. Not as outstanding, I suppose, as Astro's Playroom, but really cool, subtle things like, you know, every hit of your sword, whether it be on an enemy or like the wall around you or whatever, you know, there's a nice subtle vibrations or feedback in the controller. When you're using a bow, when you're pulling back the string, the adaptive triggers kick in, and you really have to kind of like push down on the right trigger to fire the bow. It's really cool stuff, and I haven't played a whole lot of it. I only just kind of started getting into it now that I finished Demon's Souls. But Spider-Man Miles Morales also makes some pretty good use of it too. Again, more subtle. The main one I've really noticed was when web swinging, you really kind of you feel like the trigger every time you shoot a web. It kind of like feedbacks to you. I don't know how to describe it, but it's pretty cool. So definitely the controller is really cool. The console as a whole, It's, like I said, it's really impressive tech. It's very fairly priced, I would say, for what you're getting. And really my only complaint with it is it is big. And that's not really, I guess, an objective like fault of the console. I mean, both of the new consoles are very big. I mean, they kind of have to be with all of the tech in them and the cooling having to be, working how it is. But the PS5 really, it is big, and I really like the design of the PS5. I think it's very unique. It looks very sleek. It looks very cool. But unfortunately, due to how big it is, it really just does kind of take up just a bit too much space, I feel. I really wanted to have it standing vertically, as you see it in the picture here, but I actually wasn't able to have it like that. It would be covering parts of my TV if I had it, so I had to lay it horizontally on the stand, and it still looks nice, but yeah, I don't know. That's probably my biggest, like, quote-unquote hit on the console is, yeah, it's a big boy. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing what Sony does in the future with redesigns, because this is a very unique and very cool looking console, but it definitely could be improved. But overall, I've been very satisfied with the PS5. It has, I think, a very, very strong launch lineup of games, especially compared to Xbox's side of things. And even looking back at like the PS4, I didn't have a PS4 at launch or anything, but yeah, I mean, this is a very, very nice step above that. And overall, both the new next-gen consoles are really cool. I am definitely looking forward to getting my hands on an Xbox at some point, but the PS5 so far, it's very nice, and I am definitely looking forward to using it some more. Also, PS4 backwards compatibility on that is very, very nice as well. But yeah, so that was that week, and let's see. Oh, excuse me. Well, about a week later, and just last week, we got the really big Nintendo. Oh, actually, no. Before I go to that, since it is on here, same week as the Xbox and PS5, yes, the Nintendo did release the Game & Watch Super Mario Brothers. Like I mentioned, I do have one here, holding it right now, actually. Very nice, cool piece of Nintendo memorabilia. Really cool thing that they released to celebrate 35 years of Super Mario Brothers. If you can get your hands on one and you're interested, I would definitely recommend it. Like I said, it's really cool. You get the original Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2 Lost Levels. You get a recreation of Ball, the first Game & Watch game, but now with like a Mario flair. And you also, of course, get the clock feature. And it is a very, very nice little thing here. I actually just turned it on to see the clock. I guess it just went to 8 p.m., so there's nice little fireworks in the background and stuff, and Mario's just kind of going along the bottom, hopping over a pipe and stuff. So the clock is really cool, and there's a lot of little secrets and stuff. If you're just watching the clock, I mean, just watching the time is pretty entertaining just because of all the little secrets and details that Nintendo hid in there. So, yeah, definitely a really cool piece of tech. Lots of cool video game consoles all releasing that week. And now we will move on to the week of November 20th. Because, yes, the big Nintendo title for the holiday released, being Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. It's only been out for 4 days. And you'll notice that I have Skyward Sword up here. Why is that? Well, fun little tidbit, and I've mentioned this before, I think, back in probably September, or maybe even a little bit after the game was revealed. But yes, Skyward Sword, as you can see there, was released on November 20th, 2011, and 9 years to the day, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity released. Now, why is that date, what significance does November 20th have? Not much on the whole, but for me personally, it's kind of funny. November 20th is actually my birthday, and I just found it kind of funny that Nintendo released 2 Zelda games on my birthday. It took almost a decade for another one to happen, but I just thought that was a little funny little detail or tidbit about those. But yeah, I've played I've played a decent amount of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity so far. It's definitely really solid. I mean, obviously we haven't gotten it here in the West, but Koei Tecmo has been doing a really good job recently with their games, their Warriors games that are based off of other properties. The one I'm referring to being, of course, Persona 5 Scramble. We haven't gotten that here in the West, but I have played the demo. I'm playing the demo of that, and now Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Koei Tecmo is doing a really good job of making their Warriors games that are based off of other properties feel like those other properties. I mean, this game, Hyrule Warriors, it looks the part, it sounds the part, it is very, very much Breath of the Wild, but of course a Warriors game. And I'm seriously impressed with how Koei Tecmo keeps doing that. They're doing a really good job. I'm of course very much looking forward to Persona 5 Scramble, but in its place here, Hyrule Warriors, like I said, it's been really, really fun so far. I have some issues for sure. The main ones being performance. The game does not particularly run super great. It oftentimes struggles to maintain the 30 frames per second that it, is locked to, and especially in co-op split screen, it can get really bad. So I'm hoping they can fix those performance issues. But other than that, it is really fun, and if you like Breath of the Wild or Warriors games, it's definitely worth a buy, because it's just full of really cool, not continuation, but getting to see where the Breath of the Wild timeline started and how we get to Breath of the Wild. Of course, with the sequel on the way too for Breath of the Wild, it's really nice to have the first piece of the puzzle. It's been really fun. I don't know if I will stream it since I've already started the story, but like I said, really fun. If you like Warriors games or Breath of the Wild or both, definitely worth purchase. And well, we'll see if what they do with the game in the future. It's been selling really well. I believe it's, from what I saw earlier, I believe it is the fastest selling and best selling Warriors game. So good on Nintendo and Koei Tecmo. They struck gold here. So we'll see if it gets DLC, because the first Hyrule Warriors got a lot of DLC. So we'll see how we do here. And really the last two big things here, which, oh boy, this one is really, really exciting for me. The picture here in the middle. So, yes, The World Ends With You, or more specifically, Neo, The World Ends With You. So, a little background. The World Ends With You is a Nintendo DS game from 2007. It's a JRPG. It had a very interesting mechanic on the original game on the DS, having like split screen gameplay. So the main character of the game, Neku, he was controlled via the touchscreen on the bottom screen of the DS, and whatever your partner character was controlled on the top screen using the directional pad. And it's seriously, I think it's the best Nintendo DS game. It's easily one of my favorite games of all time. The gameplay is super cool, especially on the original DS, but they did eventually port it to mobile in, I believe, 2010, and then 2018 is when we saw the final mix port on the Switch. Regardless of how you play The World Ends With You, it's a great game. I honestly recommend it to anybody and everybody who likes JRPGs. It is a fantastic time. And yeah, I mean, 14 years after the original DS game, I never would have expected them to actually finally make a sequel. But, well, just yesterday, Square Enix put out a trailer for Neo, The World Ends With You, a brand new sequel game to The World Ends With You. And I can't really express how I feel with simple words, but like I said, The World Ends With You is easily one of my favorite games of all time, and to finally see a sequel coming out, I mean, I'm just super excited for next year already, for that game alone, not to mention all the other amazing looking games that are already going to be coming out next year. But seriously, Neo, The World Ends With You, go check out that trailer if you haven't seen it already. It looks fantastic. The art style gives me like heavy Jet Set Radio Future vibes, because they're going for a 3D art style and gameplay with this one. The original was 2D, but it seriously it looks good. I'm really excited, and it comes out in summer of next year for the PS4 and Switch. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna probably buy both versions, and I'm over the moon for that game. I'm really excited to see more. And also, kind of along those lines with The World Ends With You, they also released a new teaser yesterday, along with the announcement of this game for the anime. The original game is getting an anime, and it looks really clean, looks really good. That starts in April of next year, so if you aren't too interested in playing the original DS game, or if you don't want to pick it up for the Switch, I do believe physical copies of the final mix of The World Ends With You for Switch are a bit hard to come by nowadays. And certainly the original DS game is pretty difficult to find. So if you aren't feeling like playing the original, you can just watch it if you want to wait until next year to check out the anime. So yeah, that's going to be really cool. And finally, last but certainly not least, Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Right before Hurricane Sally hit, that week actually, that Hurricane Sally hit, Halo 3 ODST was being added to the Master Chief Collection on PC, and just last week, Halo 4 was added. So with that, all of the games part of the Master Chief Collection are available on PC now. Of course, I've played through Reach. Oh no, actually, I've not played Reach yet on stream, but I have played Halo 1, 2, and 3. So I will be starting up an ODST. I can't speak. I will be starting up an ODST playthrough sometime pretty soon here, and then of course we'll move on to Halo 4, and I'll eventually, wrap it up with Halo Reach on stream as well. So, yeah, it's really cool to have all those Halo games on PC. Especially Halo 3, ODST, and 4, since those were never on PC. Reach wasn't on PC either, so that's really cool to have. But yeah, it's really awesome to have Halo back on PC, having all these games on PC. I have already done a playthrough of Halo 4 with my buddy, and it was really good. It was really cool. It was really good. Halo 4 is still a very impressive looking game, especially considering it was on the original Xbox 360, right before the Xbox One came out. Really impressive looking Xbox 360 game. Still looks great today. And yeah, I'm just really excited to have all these Halo games on PC. Really, the only one that's missing is 5 now. I don't think it's going to be added to the Master Chief Collection, but maybe 343 will port it to PC, but who knows. And of course, Infinite we'll hopefully be getting sometime next year, so looking forward to that as well. Other than that, though, I do believe that is pretty much every major thing I wanted to talk about, gaming news related wise. Let me just go ahead and stop the music here. I think that covers everything. Like I said, there's probably some things I missed or didn't put pictures up of here. But that should be all of the major things. So, I can already think of one thing I forgot. Doom Eternal got its first DLC pack, The Eternal Gods. Really fun, really difficult, but really fun. Some of the new demons they added are pretty annoying to deal with, and the last boss of the DLC was kind of a pain. But overall, really good DLC, had a really crazy ending, and I'm looking forward to the second part. And I'll probably stream that at some point, since I have done I did a playthrough on stream of Doom Eternal, so yeah. You're right, Adam. That's the other thing I guess I forgot to mention. Yeah, for Pokemon Sword and Shield, the second DLC pack, the Crown Tundra, I believe is what it's called, came out. I waited until that one was going to release to finally buy the Season Pass. Now, unfortunately, I haven't played a whole lot of it, so I can't really say too much. But from what I played, it was pretty cool. I was mainly excited for the whole kind of dungeon legendary raiding kind of thing that they added with Crown Tundra. So that looked pretty fun to do with friends, and I haven't really done too much of it, but it's still pretty cool. And Sword and Shield, despite all of its issues, is, it's a pretty good package now. You got all of the base game and 2 pretty meaty expansions. In fact, Nintendo even started selling a physical copy at stores that comes with Sword and Shield and its expansion pass. So if you're interested, definitely now is a greatest time as ever to get into Sword and Shield because you can get everything. Um, so yeah, haven't even bought Sword and Shield because I didn't care for it, but I've heard good things about it at least. Yeah, like I said, I haven't played a whole lot of the DLC, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, I guess that is one of those two things are right there. Are pretty good examples of things that I kind of missed or forgot to put on the the photo board here. But yeah, so definitely some good stuff here at the end of the year for gaming. It's been a year for sure, and having video games really seriously is super nice during these times. And well, we've got some pretty nice things in regards to video games. These really mainly this past month, but overall, right here at the end, of course, the holidays and all the big releases and stuff coming out. Some pretty good stuff. I'm looking forward to next year for sure. We already have a lot of good games lined up. Of course, Neo: The World Ends With You, a new Monster Hunter game, No More Heroes 3, um, Mario 3D World. I think is it just 3D World Deluxe or no, it's 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Um, Bravely Default 2, Persona 5 Scramble hopefully gets localized. Near Replicant. Lots and lots and lots of already really good and exciting games coming out next year. And of course, with the new consoles out, we're going to start seeing even more and more really cool games coming out for this. So it's definitely a really good time to be a video game player. And yeah, I think that about covers everything that I could think of from my absence in September to now. So yeah, good stuff. So hope you enjoyed my little discussion. And now we are going to play some Animal Crossing, which I would have put some pictures and stuff up on here, but I figure we're going to be playing it, so you'll see. But there's definitely there's been some changes in Eternita, as you will soon see. We've got some new faces and some new little places to explore and show off. So let me go and get that ready, and I will be right back, guys. So just 1 second.